Yo, Lomachenko. Okay, Vasyl Lomachenko. Right. I mean, he put a whooping. I mean, just whooped Nicholas Walters from corner to corner to corner to all four corners of the ring. Just whooped him. Dominated. Wasn't even close. This was an utter domination. There's no other way to put it. Right? And mentally, before Nicholas Walters' body gave in, he mentally gave in. I mean, this is a fighter that was clearly defeated. A fighter that clearly he had nothing else to show. Right? And we learned a lot about Nicholas Walters in that fight. You know, we learned a lot about him. When it comes to boxing, we are comparing boxers to not only their peers of today, yesteryear. That's what we're comparing boxers to. Right? We're not comparing boxers to just ordinary people or nothing like that. Right? So to some people, it may be reasonable for a fighter to say, okay, I'm done. When that fighter doesn't look extremely busted up, he looks defeated. That was clear. Obviously, he quit. But he wasn't. He could have physically gone a few more rounds. He could have tried to go out on a shield. He could have tried to go for some home run, land a big shot or something, turn the fight around. He could have done something. We've seen crazier things happen in boxing before. But Nicholas Walters, love him or hate him, it's irrelevant. The fact of the matter is, Nicholas Walters quit, and there's no nice way to put it. There's I know he retired on the stool. You could call it whatever you want. He quit. We got to call it for what it is. Vasyl Lomachenko was just at a whole nother stratosphere. The timing was superior. The speed was superior. And as a boxer, he's just a superior boxer. Period. Right? And no amount of Vasyl Lomachenko fanboys is going to make me hate Lomachenko. Right? Because the reality is, back in 2008, I was talking about, when I actually, in my channel, I was covering, right? And, I mean, I was talking about Vasyl. I wanted him to go pro back then. I thought he was ready back then. But he stuck around. He won another gold medal. It is what it is, right? Huge fan of Vasyl Lomachenko. I have videos of when he turned pro, right? And turned out I was right, but I said, he shouldn't fight Salido just yet. 2-3 more fights, he'll school Salido. But you could argue he won that fight, in all honesty, but at the end of the day, it was close enough to where they gave it to Salido, But here's the reality, and I've heard this a lot. Stop bringing up the Salido fight when you talk about Vasyl Lomachenko. He's a different fighter now, right? It's like bringing up the dudes that knocked out Pacquiao like 10 years ago. It's irrelevant right now, right? Like it's not just some cliche. It's not just a saying. He's a different fighter now. He destroys Salido, they were to fight right now. Slaughters him. It's not even close. It was just a case of going in there. That was the first time in Salido's career as an amateur or professional, for that matter, right, that he went in there against a crafty pro, right? Some people call it crafty. Some people call it dirty. Hey, one man's gold is another man's trash. It is what it is. But you know what I mean. We're talking about the same thing. No matter how you word it, you know what I mean. But I mean, obviously Lomachenko learned from that. And that actually made him a better fighter. Right? And the reality is Lomachenko's not done getting better. He's not done. He's going to keep getting better, right? Everything in this business of boxing, right, is about timing, right? It's all about timing. And when I saw, right, like I remember anyway, like I'm thinking back, guys who were considered being moved up too quick, De La Hoya. I mean, De La Hoya's first 2 title reigns were against like the weak champion. They didn't want to put him in there against one of the best champions. It was a WBO title at the time. The WBO today. It was a growing. It wasn't like when that, but it was considered they called it the 4th belt. It was outside of the main 3, outside de las tres coronas. So De La Hoya got a lot of criticism from the boxing public for 1 division, 2 division, 3 division, world champion. They're saying, yeah, but he fought all the weak champs. He didn't fight the top of the line, right? But once he was ready, they put him in there with the best, right? Even guys like Mayweather. I mean, these guys took several tune-ups. Andre Ward. I mean, you put Andre Ward as just turning pro to Mikhail Kessler. Kessler beats him in only a 2nd fight, right? If we're talking relative to like the Kessler he fought at that point of his career, right? I mean, who's to say, right? That's an assumption. I know, right? So my only point is hanging on to the Salido fight to try to gauge, where Lomachenko's at. I mean, you need to understand this is a fighter that's going to be improving fight after fight after fight. In all honesty, he's most definitely in a discussion for top pound for pound fight in the world if you go by the eye test. And his win over Nicholas Walters is big. It's bigger than a lot of the wins and the fashion in which he won. It's bigger than a lot of the wins I see from some of these guys in the top of the pound for pound. It's a more impressive victory than GGG beating Cal Brook. And the fashion that he did it too. Impressive than that. Right? Who's the guy? I already forgot the dude's name. Who's the guy at GGG fought before that? I mean, it's definitely more impressive than that. Better than that shit. So right now, Lomachenko wants Vargas. And, he's already getting flack. Oh, no. Well, what do you mean, Vargas? He has to move up and go to welterweight. Like, it's just hearing crazy shit. He's fine where he's at, right? Let him fight Vargas. Right? Let him fight Vargas and let him clean out the division and he can move up. Right? Nothing wrong with that. I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. I'll give Lomachenko this. The moment he became champion, he didn't start pulling the training wheels bullshit. Right? Like people are giving passes to a guy like Joshua fighting bums and shit when he's already a title holder. Right? No, but he's young and he's got to train him. Like people were giving passes to Canelo. All right? When he became champion and was defending the fight against like what Manfredo? Fucking shitting me? Was it him? I don't know. Right? With Kermit Cintron, it was irrelevant at the time. I was like, what the fuck is this? All right? So if he wants to fight another title holder, I'm okay with that. It's not his fault that he's going to be a big favorite. Best fighters in the division. Right? So that's that. Okay? Now, Nicholas Walters, to say I'm disappointed is an understatement. Right? I'm not disappointed by his effort when he was in the fight. And he was never in the fight. Like, let me backtrack here. But when he was trying to fight, right? That's what I meant to say. Okay, cool, but you got to keep trying, man. Like, give it a shot here. He wasn't injured. He wasn't, like, his face wasn't buzzed. I seen dudes, man, pull off miracles in the last few rounds. You never know. You never know, right? And there's an old expression in boxing that eventually the truth finds you in the ring. Eventually, you are exposed for what you are, right? Eventually, it happens. Some fighters, they find themselves in a situation. They get knocked down, and they get back up, right? And they find themselves in a situation that they obviously don't want to be in, right? Nicholas Walters didn't have the mental toughness that it takes to be at the high level of boxing, right? I saw a guy very similar to Victor Ortiz, right? Very similar. Has no problem when he's dominating, right? I mean, he looks confident. He looks like he's clicking on all cylinders when he's dominating. When he's in control, problems, right? The moment he loses control, he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know how to act. Now, I'll never forget it. It was round 11. Juan Manuel Marquez was in the corner, right? And Nacho Bernstein looked at him. This was in the Mayweather fight. He looked at him and he said, go out there and finish this round like a man. Something to that effect. With orgullo. I don't know. Finish the fight with pride. Finish the fight. He knew Marquez was getting embarrassed in there. He knew that. Right? But when Marquez was getting, he didn't turn around and say, I can't, fuck this shit. Round 8, I can't win. I can't win this fight. I can't win. I'm done. I'm done. I don't want to do this no more. I'm done. He never stopped fighting. Never. He never stopped fighting. Even though he was clearly losing. But his spirit was never broken. Right? Let me tell you something. In the sport of boxing, no one can take your spirit unless you give it to them. No matter how big of a beating they're giving you, right? They can't. If you go down on your shield, you kept your spirit with you, right? Your fighting spirit. What Nicholas Walters did, right? I mean, it was. How many of you watch The Walking Dead, right? When Negan tells other grown-ass men to take a knee, right? Take a knee. And then they take a knee, right? That's what Nicholas Walters did. He took a knee. He just took a knee. He might as well have taken a knee in the middle of the fucking ring, all right? To Lomachenko. He might as well have done that. Lomachenko might as well have asked to take a knee. I'll stop beating your ass if you take a knee. Take a knee and bow to me. Right? So that's basically what happened in this fight. Like, I understand it's hard. It's hard for a lot of Nicholas Walter fans to accept that, and that's fine. Right? I'm just giving you my opinion. That's it. Straight shooter. That's the way it is. Uncut, unfiltered. That's how I give it to you. Right? Nicholas Walters quit in this fight. That's it. Right? Deep down, when the going gets tough, he doesn't know what to do. Right? Just doesn't know. I mean, there's guys who can never break the spirit, ever. And Muhammad Ali, right, was taking beatings later on in his career. Beatings! He shouldn't even have been in the ring, but that's another story. He's taking a beating by Larry Holmes. Beating. And they should have stopped it earlier, right? But even in last fight, beating. But they never broke his spirit. His fighting spirit was never broken, ever. That's it. And that's actually one of the reasons people watch boxing. The fighting spirit. Right? That's why people watch boxing. So when somebody's spirit, it's like heartbreaking to watch when you see a fighter's spirit get broken. He just sounded like a defeated man. I mean, obviously he was defeated, right? He lost the fight. I get that, you know? But it just, he wasn't even, he was so like passive about it, you know? Like, oh, I mean, why should I have gone out? I mean, he was just beating my ass. Like, maybe he could have just gotten more aggressive, and yeah, maybe he would have knocked you out. But you never know. What if you would have landed something? You know? You never know. You can't check out in the 8th inning, right? Just because you're down by 10 or 20. Because you never know. You never know. And if you're not willing to take that risk, you know, or at least just keep fighting, so people can at least say, hey, this guy, he gave it 100%. We can't say that. You cannot say that Nicholas Walters gave it his all in this fight. You can't say that. He didn't. His fighting spirit was broken. Right? That's what happened. Right? He felt embarrassed in there. He didn't know what to do. Right? But I'll tell you what. I mean, he beat the shit out of Nonito Donaire, but he didn't break his fighting spirit. Nonito still tried, even though Nicholas Walters was beating the shit out of him. Nonito Donaire was still trying. He was still trying, right? So that's my thing. So a lot of these fighters, if you think getting knocked out is embarrassing, that there's nothing more embarrassing than just flat out getting up, a ref to ask you 3 times. You know, I just want to make sure I just want to make sure you're saying you're quitting. I'm done. So you don't want to fight no more. I'm done. So you're quitting the fight. Yes, I'm done. Like, it's just, there's just, to me, there's nothing more embarrassing than that. There just isn't. And it has to be called for what it is. All right. So congratulations to Lomachenko. Right? Dominated the fight. And that's that. And I got to go check what the fuck just happened outside. Peace.